Interjection here, Nation of Warriors 1v1 commentary number 12. I did actually have to look up which one this was because I was going to call it number 13. How off was I? Anyway, last game I did ask what civ I should play next, and I was expecting a European civ answer because I was going to play the vanilla and I was going to play a European civ. Because I can do that anyway. I was really not expecting anyone to come out with the Asian civs or the War Chief civs. To me, I don't know why. There just wasn't something on my mind that could have happened. But Jap seemed to be the most thumbed up comments. Sorry, Japan, Japanese, whatever you want to call them, and that's what I went with. I figure people want to see that, even if I'm not particularly comfortable with Japan. Not gonna lie, this is my maybe 5th or 6th serious game. I've just been playing a few games as Japanese, trying to get a feel with them. I looked up a few kind of ideas, looked for videos, looked for kind of strategies, ideas, kind of things you can do with Japan, and just getting my own feel for them. And I'm not gonna lie, Japan is really interesting. These Asian civs are really fun to play, and I'm really starting to enjoy Age of Empires 3 again. My rank decayed back from whatever it was now down to 25, so I was kind of almost a major. That is with Spain. I'm not entirely convinced I'm that kind of level with other civs, but since it's decayed, it's kind of a nice starting point to start playing new civs, or feeling more comfortable about playing new civs because there's no rank to kind of lose, which is good because that's what the game's about, is having fun, isn't it, rather than just gaining points and ranks, which seems what it was about. Not so much anymore since this game isn't so competitive, since it is getting quite old. Anyway, what's going on in the game right now? I'm collecting wood from that shrine, and now I'm switching to food. I have been, as soon as it was built, I switched it to wood. Get enough, 93 wood exactly to be precise, because I'm going to send Heavenly Kami, or Heavenly Karma. I used to call it Karma. It's not called Karma, it's Kami. I don't even know if it's called Kami. That shipment there, the one I'm sending now, we all know what it does. It reduces your shrine costs by 25%, so they would go down from 125 wood to 93 wood exactly. Obviously I have 94, but 1 wood, whatever. And I'm going to use that wood to build that shrine the moment that shipment comes through. That is why I did that. And then I switched the food back, the shrine back to food so that I could age up sooner. For me, I just do that. I want to get that shrine up. I feel maybe there's a long-term kind of benefit, but then the other argument is you're not on food, you're not going to age up as quickly, and I don't know, aging up quickly usually is a lot better for you. Either way, that shrine's going up now, and that first shrine, obviously I built my first shrine, I built that right next to those bison in my base. There's 4 there exactly, so the maximum amount, and it's a nice one to have. It's in your base, it's protected. You always need that first one for the actual population itself, not just the resource gathering, and you want to get that up as soon as you possibly can as well, just like getting a first settler in production, because it generates resources sooner the sooner it is built. So, why not get in there? Shaving the seconds, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I'm aging up. My first wonder is the big shrine. Shogunate shrine? I don't know. The giant shrine that gives you an extra, it's a shrine, and also it gives you, bonuses to your other shrines. And I sent settlers out to this kind of herd just before I got 800 food, which is something I haven't been doing, so that I can get it kind of being built, like, sooner rather than later. So as soon as I get 800 food, it starts to get built, whereas in like other games, since I played a few before and I'm getting the feel for Japan, obviously said I'm enjoying it, but I might not send those settlers and then get it built soon. So I've kind of worked out that you need to do that. Anyway, that shrine, I looked it up online on the RTS Sanctuary, or I forget which, it might have been the Age Community forums, but apparently this giant shrine gives a plus 130% increase, or food increase, to the resource increase to the shrines. But to me that sounds like a load of shit, so I don't really think it is that high. Maybe that's on the base rate, I don't know, I have no idea. I don't think that information is correct, but it might be. Maybe I just looked at it wrong and thought, Anyway, the Heavenly Kami, that gives 50%, so whatever this giant shrine does give me bonus, they are stacking to give my shrines some, juicy kind of some resource gathering. And my strategy here is going to be focused mainly around those shrines, since Japan is kind of a boomy civ. At least that's how I saw it when I kind of looked up all the different things people were saying, and I looked at them myself and built a deck. Actually, I kind of looked at Aklak's deck, if you know Aklak, and then that's where I went from there, really. My deck's really similar to his, although I just put the shrines 4 shrines age 2 in mine, but now thinking about it, I can see why he didn't have his in there, because I don't like to copy someone's deck exactly, because I don't know how to use it. I like to kind of, but I thought it was a good starting point, and then I can like kind of adapt it how I want to use my deck. But my first shipment is 600 wood, because well, right here I was scouting him, I was scouting my opponent, because I kind of want to see, I went in to look for his first age up bonus, because he could have sent like a tower. I think the Dutch have a tower and 200 coin, but I found that unlikely. But if it was a tower, then I'd be, you know, he would have been expecting a rush, which would be really odd, because Japanese, not the great for rushing, probably could pull one off, but definitely more of a boomy civ in my opinion. But he went for 400 wood, I assume, because I saw a bank foundation go up, and that's 350 wood. So I assumed, since there was no crates next to his town center, that he had collected it up, and I was a bit late. But I kind of worked out, and then I went back to see what his first age 2 shipment was, and it was 700 wood. So from that 700 wood, that's 2 more banks for him, and I was completely convinced he was booming, so I wanted to do the same, because obviously rushing with Japan is a bit weird. And as you can see, I sent those monks out over to the food, and got them there just as the wood arrived, or just before they were kind of coming up to it as the wood arrived, so that they could start building them shrines as soon as like the wood arrived. I get it collected up. Whereas I could have, other games I've been playing, the wood arrived and I start collecting it, and I realised, oh, right now I need shrines with this wood, and my monks are just on the other side of the map, and it's just a complete pain in the ass. So that's something I've been trying to do with Japan, just like small kind of civs differences that you like, ideas you wouldn't have picked up playing with European civs. Right here I'm building that market, because as you can see, all of my food, all of my collection is on food right now. And
microphone muted. Microphone activated.
And I'm back. All of my collection is on food right now, and I'm going to benefit way more by having those food upgrades. I think there's 2. One of them's 5%, maybe. I don't know what it is, but you get there's 2 upgrades, which is another weird thing with Japs that I haven't, you know, been trying to get used to. But the majority of my resources is on food, so I'm going to benefit the most from having a food upgrade. And then enough resources are coming in from the few I have on coin. And the shrines are assigned to coin, because obviously my market upgrade does not affect my shrine collection, so it's better to have those settlers on food rather than coin, so I can make up for the coin that I don't have by having shrines. Anyway, Dutch very kind of boomy civ. I want to get booming straight away, and there's a kind of a toss-up between the 4 shrine cards and my 600 wood card, which I'll explain in a moment. But first, here we see 8 pikemen attacking my shrines. Kind of should have thought about this, kind of should have thought Dutch has an 8 pikeman shipment. Dutch likes to make use of that 8 pikeman shipment. Dutch trains skirmishers, kind of needs pikemen to defend them. I don't know, I should have thought, right, he'll send pikemen, or he might send some sort of unit to raid my shrines. As you can see, he killed one, which is a pain in the ass. But I had like 3 Ashigaru musketeers at the time, and then 5 was created just as I kind of saw those pikemen killing off the shrines. And then I should have sent them up there to kind of, you know, stop the pikemen from killing it. And right here I kind of send them back. Actually, I kind of sent them off to kill the explorer attacking one of my shrines, but, you know, really I should have thought about it. We walked up that way, he's going to come back and just be a pain in the ass. So actually, my monk there, right there, I went to hand combat to start attacking him, because I figured if he's attacking my shrine, he won't notice, and then if he does kind of walk away, my shrine can use his hand combat to slow him down, because units in hand combat slow them down. Obviously that works with the entire group. You might have seen that. That's why some people click a cavalry and send it back if the entire group of raiding cavalry is being attacked, because then the whole group doesn't get slowed down. Anyway, back to these Ashigaru musketeers attacking. Obviously I'm trying to defend my shrines, and I should really be trying to do a better job of that. And in the course of the entire game, not so good. My shrine protection, that is also something I really need to work on as Japanese, because my focus is mainly economy with the boomy shrines, and people then start attacking my shrines when I don't have enough resources, so I don't have enough troops to kind of fight my opponent's army, so I don't kind of retreat a bit, and then they go and kill my shrines, and I'm like, oh, that's alright then, because now I don't have to, you know, I can save up, which is not a problem. I can get the right units in, so I have the resources, and then when I have the right units, and then I go fight them, but then I've lost a few shrines by then, and I'm doing that too frequently. Anyway, as you can see, he's now kind of killing more shrines with those pikemen, which he just kind of, they didn't go back. I did kind of send in them Ashigaru, because I figured they were doing nothing, and I wanted them to go and kill off settlers in my opponent's base, and I sent them down there, and then I saw his pikemen killing my shrines again whilst I walked away, which is another pain in the ass. Like, you know, some moves I really shouldn't be, or should be thinking about better, to keep those shrines, the musketeers near the shrines to protect them. Don't know why I thought, like, by being in his base, his pikemen would come back to be protected or something. Right here, I just want to point out that I sent from my consulate, which went up, the upgrade that makes, instead of training units in batches of 5, you train them in batches of 10, which is very useful. And now I'm sending the hand upgrade there, because I think that's Ashigaru, since my army is almost entirely Ashigaru. Don't understand why it is, because he's Dutch and he can train skirmishers. Anyway, this is something I've been wanting to go back to. I said I'd explain the difference between my 600 wood, my first shipment, 600 wood, or the 4 shrines. And whilst I was at work today, I kind of thought about it. I don't know, it just popped into my mind. And Heavenly Kami reduces, or Karma, you know, that shipment, that like cryptic, ambiguous shipment, the one, there's a weird name that no one can pronounce, that one, reduces the cost of a shrine from 125, obviously, to 93, so 600 wood, I'd be able to build 6 shrines, and I would have 6 times 7 wood left over, so a bit of wood left over, maybe another shrine, maybe 7 shrines, almost 7 shrines, yeah, no, 6, 5, fuck, you know, some shrines, 6 shrines, and then, the 4 shrine shipment, obviously it's only 4 shrines, and you get no wood left over, and those 4 shrines, they do build really quickly. The little shrine wagon, you can send them off and build them, get them up really quickly, and my monks could be doing something else like scouting Kim, which often there isn't enough time to do, even with European civs, and you know, you get 2 monks, which is good, but they have to be around building these fucking shrines. Anyway, not the point. Right, so right here, his army is, was it skirmishers? Yeah, it's skirmishers, and I just, you know, I've been training musketeers. I said I don't know why I'm training musketeers. I have been, like, I'm pretty good with looking at scouting my opponent and then working out what he's going to be trading, because obviously I did scout him and he was building, you know, 700 wood shipment. To me suggests bank boom, fast fortress, which he's done. He's now in the fortress age, and he's going to be using those banks to you know, kind of push his eco on, and that's the point of his strategy to boom. But otherwise, I would check, and I would see that he's got an early barracks up for, so in other games. Played this guy, last game I played him, he played Iroquois, and lamed me with the Iroquois, like, boot, you know, super fast rush. I didn't think it would be a problem. My first shipment in that game was, 5 archers instead of the 600 wood, because I figured it'd be so damn quick, I'd need some archers to protect me. No way I'm going to boom, have to boom later, and get those things out to protect me first. The reason I played them as Japs, I just want to get to know a Jap, see what you can do. The point is, I'm trying to explain that when you scout your opponent, you can kind of work out what they're doing, and like the reason my army is entirely musketeers is because what I'm used to training. That's not a good reason to go musketeers. I should have thought about what he'd train, which would be skirmishers, and think accordingly. Obviously, this battle here is not too bad, because he didn't really have enough anti-cavalry to protect the skirmishers, and I was able to just use my musketeers to target the dragoons, and you know, the skirmishers die as equivalent as follows. Anyway, that daimyo is now there. That was, I forget what shipment we're on, but the musketeer upgrade I sent. Obviously, I was training almost exclusively musketeers. I think, thinking about it now, 4 settlers would have been better, or maybe the daimyo sooner. Obviously, don't want to send that daimyo too soon. I'll explain that in the moment. I just want to go back to what I was talking about, which was the kind of the units to be training. Like, I'd scout my opponent, see what he was doing, and then build the units equivalently, or accordingly rather. And I'm quite good with Japan and other civs now, just looking at what they're doing and then going, right, I need archers because they're training musketeers. Yumi archers obviously going to counter them, and you want to kind of work out what they're doing, train the right units for it. Anyway, that daimyo, you don't want to send him too soon. I looked up online and saw this sample base build order strategy, and they're like, yeah, first shipment, age 2, you daimyo, whatever you want, you know, that guy. And I just no, because, like, okay, he's a good unit, he does a decent amount of damage, he gives this bonus to all of your units to which you want, but like in age 2 as your first shipment, he's not going to be that useful, because there's other shipments you can send which are far more useful, like getting that economy going, that 600 wood, which is what I did. But like that aura isn't going to be very useful unless you have a decent amount of units. Now, when you have that decent amount of units, that is worth it, because then he's benefiting more things. His benefit is spread over more units. Like, but if you've only got like 5 musketeers for him to benefit, that's just entirely useless to you. Like, I don't see, like, that strategy for me just said, like, I just thought no, and that's what a lot I saw online. I haven't found a decent build order, so I just kind of went with it myself. I'm going to have a chat with maybe Aklak, if he will talk to me, and see what he thinks about Japan. Maybe he can help me out, hopefully, if you're listening. Anyway, right here, he obviously had those petards, which I imagine, like, I've seen some people playing some civs would just send, like, build petards. Obviously with Dutch, they're a shipment, 6 petard shipment. He sent them, and I imagine he wanted to kind of crawl around the map. Maybe he was going for that shrine, I don't know. Be a bit of I don't know if that was what his intentions was. I can't see why it would be. But some people go for the town centre, kill off the town centre, maybe towers as well, kill off those buildings you could garrison in, and then I don't know. I might have lost the monk. There was that monk being shot at by skirmishers. He did get the foundation up the shrine. Anyway, they kill your town centre with these petards, and then they can kill all your units, all your villages, because there's nowhere for you to garrison them. And that I haven't seen very often, but I've seen sometimes, and it's a real pain. Well, it's a pain in the arse. You lose the game because of it, but it is one hell of a strategy if you can do it properly. Don't know what they were there for. Obviously, they went for the trading post there because they were all going to die, and fortunately, I found them, so he couldn't do what he was intending to do.
Microphone muted. Microphone activated.
So I have a cold, I keep coughing, and I don't want you guys to hear it. So right here, this is another example, me and my shrines dying. I don't protect them very well, because I think, right, I don't have the units to go and engage. I'll just, wait up and train, because it's fine. He's not doing anything, difficult for me, but obviously I am losing shrines, and I don't think I value the shrine as much as I should, because I wait too long before going to counter my opponent. Obviously here, I committed to the fight and it went well, but obviously I'm going to be struggling eventually, because Ashigaru musketeers obviously can counter these Reuters he's sending, but it would be better for me to train Yumi archers, I think, because Yumi archers do not take the bonus damage that the skirmishers are issuing. So the skirmishers shoot the Yumi archer, they don't take any bonus damage, whereas obviously Ashigaru musketeer takes the multiplier which the skirmisher does. That's kind of clear. And also Yumi archers they have a bonus damage, they have a multiplier. Light infantry has a multiplier against light cavalry, so ranged cavalry, like these Reuters. One thing to look out for the Dutch though, like I think I did a good job of it this game, but sometimes you can look at the size of the Reuter army and then just like completely overestimate it because it's so large. And obviously Reuters aren't that effective. Here I'm aging to age 3 in this game. You'll notice some insane resource overkill. I collect way too much of some resources. I might put that down to me not knowing what I want to train. Or actually it's more down to really, because I could spend them. Like obviously you want to spend your resources as fast as you can, because stockpiled resources just aren't doing anything. They are not helping you. You need to spend them for that to be useful. Obviously I'm not really showing a very good job of me using them, but I could, like, here those 5 cavalry in production right now. I could have 10. Obviously I want to be spending that wood which I initially collected for Yumi archers, then probably forgot about. In the end I end up building this mill here, or whatever, I don't know, rice paddy field is it, and then obviously I don't know why I built that. There's plenty of coin around, although I do realise the food is going to run out soon. I'm not sure if I have sent, no I haven't sent the 2 cherry orchard cars. Or have I? I don't. Yes, I did, because there's 2 cherry orchards in front there. I sent because I remember building them. Yes, of course I've sent them. They were there because obviously going to run out of food eventually, so I kind of building this, but that's not going to be for a while. So really, strictly speaking, don't need that right now. I'm upgrading the coin for it though. The coin collect. No, that's the food collection rate. Because obviously they're completely balls without the upgrades, and I think they're really cheap. The first upgrade for Japan is really cheap, or maybe that's just the market, but then you get the second one which is a bit more expensive, and you don't get all of the upgrade in one go. You have to spend it on like installments kind of, which is really odd. They seem to have hundreds of upgrades, but overall it's the equivalent to of exactly the same of the European civilizations. Anyway, right here, I haven't quite reached my pop cap limit yet, but obviously there's no more really locations on which I can build shrines, and I'm kind of not entirely sure. Like once it seems to me it's only worth building or booming with shrines once you once you've like where you can build them on animals, but there are no animals left, so perhaps I'm not building them when I should do. Thinking about it now, they do still generate a few resources, like when they're not being built, so, and I will need the population eventually, so why not boom with them? Maybe that's what I should have done with the wood I had, just maxed out my shrines, get them going, because obviously that is resources coming in, because there's no actual locations I can build them on anymore. Obviously if there were the ones that they destroyed and I could get the locations up, then that would be a good idea. Right now though, this fight here, not the best one, not entirely sure, but then like, I come away and start looking over here, looking for more units to send in, but then I realize I'm not looking at the fight. His positioning is really good. Mine is absolutely terrible. Obviously, you do get a kind of little bonus thinking about positioning in your own base, because you have that town center to shoot and maybe a tower. Obviously he doesn't have one in this example, but I think, right, this is a retarded decision. I'm gonna get these guys out of there. I lost way more than I should have done, but at least I did kind of bring them out. And here I'm thinking, right, I'm now gonna send in this button that makes me see the entire map, or at least what he's doing. And I suppose it is the entire map, really. I suppose you don't really need to know what's going on in the places you can't see. That's not the point. Anyway, before having sending that, you know what I'm trying to say, I should have like went up over to where I thought his settlers were, where his settlers were, because I thought they would be around there. I should have sent them over there first before pressing that button, so that I could, you know, make better use of it, get to him closer, because he now knows I've seen everything, so he might be thinking about sending his units back. Obviously,
Microphone muted. Microphone
he
activated.
doesn't actually send them units, his settlers back. If I like, I mean, then I'm attacking this tower, so he's had even more warning. But here are the settlers, and I'm able to kill them. Obviously, if I'd got my guys, my cavalry there sooner, and then sent that button, I would have been able to. It's like, you got to think about the timing. Anyway, these shipments right now, I have just literally received the refrigeration and the royal mint. Now, I'm thinking economically. I'm thinking, because the game's 20 minutes long, and I'm thinking it'll probably go on for longer than that. One idea is you can when you see my fast fortress, well, not my fast fortress, the Spanish fast fortress, you should be sending the military cards. I didn't actually, in this card here, I did not realize this battle, I didn't realize I had that many cavalry, and they seemed to converge at the right moment, which was perfect. Obviously I was aiming for that, but when they all in one group, you know, I didn't realize there was actually that many, which was, you know, maybe I could have pushed sooner. Well, I suppose I was kind of raiding him, and then this would be as soon as I could push him after that fight I kind of lost out in big time. But yeah, anyway, building shrine, maybe. Right here I've maxed out my population, so I'm kind of forced to build shrines. And here's a bison herd that I haven't utilized, actually. You might have been shouting at me, like, obviously didn't hear you. No, I just didn't realize it was there the entire game, so I didn't use it. That's a mistake. Maybe should be looking at them. But in the end, no one. Let's have a quick look at these post-game graphs. I do go through them quite quickly. I just want to make sure people understand now that my videos are not tutorials. I saw a comment on my last video saying something about tutorials and me teaching people, but not gonna lie. I'm not aiming to teach. If you do learn things or pick up things from these videos, then that's great. I'm very happy about that. But my main aim is to entertain, and if I was trying to educate about the game, then the video would be tips and tricks, or otherwise I'd state in the video that this is something I'm trying to teach people, because the things I can teach, the only things I can teach are really simple ideas, like the reasoning and strategy and all of the kind of analysis that I do is in my mind. You kind of learn what you want to do, that kind of thing as you play, and obviously I can kind of explain what I'm thinking, but what I am thinking is by no means the best, and there are far better players than me who have probably a lot better thought processes going on in their mind with the game. Obviously that is why they are better than me. The only things I can really teach, obviously I did a video on herding, I could do a video on maybe unit counters, you know, simple ideas that once you understand you can then use to kind of build your own thought processes and get better at the game. Obviously I can only explain what I am doing and why, not really trying to teach, but obviously if it is helpful then that is great.